Hey guys, this is James from the Magic Rhombus here, and we're going to be doing a little bit of EDH deck tech. EDH, Commander. Anyways, it's a format recognized by Wizards by now, and they've released the Commander, precons, and if you haven't got one yet, I really suggest that you do. They're great. They come with really helpful, pieces for your deck. So anyways, my EDH deck, I've been playing EDH for a couple years. I play over at CCSU. The play group at CCSU is pretty good. It's one of the better play groups that I've seen in it. This becomes apparent when I go to other places and play, and it's just not even a competition. Like, some people are really bad. But anyways, my EDH general is Brion Stoutarm. As you can see, I had him altered. My good friend Lyndon altered this for me. Painted around the edges. I'm the only one on CCSU that has a painted general. I think it would be cool if we all did. But yeah, he's pretty cool. It's Brion Stoutarm. But yeah, let's go to deck tech. We'll start off right now with the land base for Brion. I'll go count how many lands it is after, but you know, I'll explain my choices while we do it. Mistveil Plains. The reason I have it is because it's a plains you can fetch it with your fetch lands and your fetch land, and it's really helpful for recycling instant sorceries, creatures, whatever. Just combos with Sunforger like it's its job. It's really nice. The only downside is that it comes in tapped, but it's alright when it's your first land play. Got Arid Mesa. Pretty basic. Command Tower. Probably one of the best lands for Commander. Comes in the Commander sets. Every Commander deck comes with one. It's very good. You got Sacred Foundry, red-white dual. Clifftop Retreat, it's red-white dual. Mirrodin's Core, I recommend this to anyone who's running a multicolored deck, simply because it's like you play it turn 1, and you just start pumping charge counters on it, and then it just becomes basically any land because tap for any color after a while. Great Furnace, it's an artifact land. I need an Ancient Den, but Great Furnace is pretty helpful. It gets Metalcraft online. I got my Plateau. I had a revised Plateau a while ago, but I traded it for a playset of Bridge from Below because I'm an avid Legacy player and I play Dredge, and I needed my playset of Bridge for Dredge. But yeah, so Plateau, the original red-white dual. Ancient Amphitheater, it's red-white dual. Sunholm, because it's one of the, out of these effects, it's pretty freaking good. I mean, 4 mana gives target creature double strike. Even when I'm playing in multiplayer, it's like one of my friends is attacking someone else, and they're doing some damage, and I give one of their own creatures double strike. Try and get some more damage. Buried Ruin. As you'll see in this deck, I use a lot of artifacts, so Buried Ruin becomes helpful. Battlefield Forge, it's dual land. Rugged Prairie, dual land filter. Boros Garrison, it's dual land. I have every red-white dual land for Brion that's currently available. We got Plains, Mountain, Snow-covered mountain, foil because I can. Mountain, plains, 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 mountain, mountain, plains, 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 terrain generator. I like terrain generator because in a deck that's red and white, you don't really have a lot of mana ramping possibilities. Terrain generator opens this up, and even if you're playing like mono black, I still recommend this because you can ramp up some lands, and that becomes pretty relevant, especially in black when you need all the lands you can get. That should be in non-basics. Plains, plains, mountain, plains, mountain, mountain, mountain. So, I'll go count up the lands for you, tell you what my land count is. $37 lands. So, pretty good for Brion. I might, sorry about that. I might cut one land later on. So we'll go on to enchantments. The only enchantment that Brion runs is Concerted Effort. And what this says is that at the beginning of each player's upkeep, all creatures you control gain flying till end of turn if a creature you control has flying. The same is true for Fear, First Strike, Double Strike, Landwalk, Protection, Trample, and Vigilance. And in a deck where your main general, where your general has lifelink, it can get pretty ridiculous. Like, you have a Mirran Crusader out and you have Brion out. Suddenly your entire field has Pro, Black, Green, Double Strike, and lifelink. So, I've only gotten this out a few times, so I'm not really sure how I feel about it yet, though. I mean, it's alright, but time will tell how I feel about this. Let's go on to artifacts. We got 1,000 Year Elixir. That's annoying. It's 1,000 Year Elixir. It's helpful. I mean, untapping creatures is good. If your opponent's not paying attention, you can untap one of your own creatures to block. I mainly use it to untap Brion, untap Stoneforge Mystics, stuff like that. Got Sunforger, which is just an amazing card. Like, 2 mana to tutor up any instant that's 4 or less in your deck. It's red or white. And it gives +4/+0, which is pretty significant. If you're running red and white in your deck, or if you're running just Boros colors in general, I really suggest that you run a Sunforger, because it's too good not to have. Its equip cost is 3, which is, I think, a little high, but it's still fine. Sword and Light and Shadow. I have it in here mainly for the protection. White and black is basically pro removal right there. And when it hits, you know, it's like 3 life gain is whatever in EDH, but getting the creature back, depending on what's in your graveyard, is pretty good. Darksteel Plate makes it indestructible, and this is indestructible. It's like an anti-field wipe spell. Equip is 2, which I like. 3 to play. It's pretty good. Lightning Greaves. This is an EDH staple. If you're playing EDH, you need a Lightning Greaves, guys. Because just give your general Shroud or anything Shroud and Haste. It's very powerful. Sword of Body and Mind. Again, it's a sword. It's very powerful. Pro Green, Pro Blue. It's good to get around Simic players or Mono Green, Mono Blue players, if you can resolve this against Mono Blue players. The Mill isn't that good in EDH unless you attach this to a Double Striker. The Wolf token I like, because anything that makes tokens in this deck, Brion can abuse, because he just flings tokens. He can fling whatever, really, but it's good. Darksteel Ingot, Indestructible Mana Rock, Nim Death Mantle. Now, let me explain my reasoning for Nim Death Mantle. Is, say, you have 5 mana, right? You have Brion on the field, you fling a creature, and then you Nim Death Mantle your creature back. Now, some people are like, that's okay. But imagine this, you fling your Sun Titan for 6 damage. 6 damage lifelink, because Brion has lifelink. Then you Nim Death Mantle your Sun Titan. Sun Titan comes back and you get a thing with converted mana cost 3 or less from your grave. And Sun Titan becomes an 8/8 black and white zombie intimidator, which you can fling next turn for 8 damage lifelink, and repeat the process. This also combos with Stoneforge Mystic to keep tutoring. Brion flings, bring the Stoneforge back, keep tutoring for your equipments. I also use Dwegar Hedgemage to keep blowing up artifacts and enchantments. Godo to keep getting artifacts onto the field. It's good all around. Like, oh, they kill Brion, I'll Nim Deathmantle Brion. And Brion comes back. So, like, you can use it in your decks for a little bit of added protection. I use it in here because it's a combo piece. It's very, very good. Skull Clamp because it's Skull Clamp. Equip it to your creature, dies, you draw 2 cards. Card advantage. Umezawa's Jite, in my opinion, the best equipment in the game. Just the amount of utility that this card gives you. Look, it's like swing with a double striker with it. So let's say I have this equipped to a Mirran Crusader. Swing, first strike, it gets 2 counters. So it's 2 damage. Double strike, I'll remove 2 counters, making Mirran Crusader a 6/6. Do 6 damage right there. And then it gets another 2 counters, which I can then boost Mirran Crusader up to a 10 and fling it. Like, get enough counters on this to boost up a creature and fling, or like the life gain is good too, because some of the cards I have in here abuse my life gain. Actually, I think I'm gonna go replace this with Cradle of Vitality to go boost up my creatures and stuff. So I have to go get another Cradle. It's also good creature removal, because you give their creatures -1 until end of turn. You can kill their small utility creatures, stuff like that. Umezawa's Jite, if you're running equipments, you gotta run that. Soul Ring, because it's Soul Ring. Solemn Simulacrum, it's good. Like, you play it, then Brion flings it, so you get a ramp, and you get a body, and you get a card. Swiftfoot Boots, like Lightning Greaves, except I can equip things to my creatures that have Swiftfoot Boots on it. I can't do that with Lightning Greaves. I also think that this is an EDH staple, but that's your own opinion. Sword of War and Peace. And EDH, when you have, I'm going to have to make this a 2-part video because this is going to be long. In EDH, when you have, like, blue players, or any players really, that have huge cards in hand, and you're playing, you have 7 cards in hand, you hit with this, it hurts. Throw this on a double striker, as I said, it hurts even more. Fire and Ice, amazing. Grafted Exoskeleton. Equip that to Brion, suddenly Brion flings for poison damage. Like, it's dumb. It's like, oh, instead of doing 40 damage to you, I only have to do 10 now. Get on my level. Phyrexian Processor is my janky little combo piece that I found out, because with the amount of life gain that Brion gives you, you normally have more life than your opponent. So, if it is safe to do so, and you know that they can't stop you, and you have like 9 mana on the board, then what you do, play Phyrexian Processor. You go down to 1 life, you make a token, right? So you have a huge Phyrexian minion token. You then have Brion fling it, deal a crap load of damage to someone, and because Brion has lifelink, you gain all your life back. And at that point, everyone on the table is going to try and kill you, because you're going to be one-shotting one person every turn if they can't deal with these 2 cards. So that's why I run Phyrexian Processor, because it's just that good. Alright, so that was part 1 of EDH with James from the Magic Rhombus. In the next video, we'll be going on to Planeswalkers, Instant Sorceries, and then Creatures. So I hope to see you then. Yeah, bye.